The disciples, we have this man born blind from birth. Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? It just seems to be part of human nature that we make this connection together. Jesus debunks it immediately. It's not that this man sinned or his parents. But we still live in a world, and I know it's crept into Christians or Christianity. By the way, there's no such thing as karma. Okay? There's just no such thing as karma as it's defined. Karma is, I've done good, this good will happen. I've done bad, this bad will happen, and then from however it flows, through life. It's not Christian. It's from Near Eastern religions. It's a human perspective. The point is that we have to understand that we live in a broken, sinful world. And what's going to happen in a broken, sinful world is going to happen to everybody, Christian or non-Christian. A lot of the trouble we have in life, we have brought on ourselves. But a lot of it, it's not a matter of finding fault or tying that in with someone. Jesus says, no. Everything that happens is an opportunity to glorify God or demonstrate a work that he is doing or will do. And to put it to God's grace and his mercy and his love. That's the way God would have us live, trusting in him and knowing how important it is that we live as the light in the world, but how much we need him, because in our brokenness, we too need to come to the cross. So in life, things happen. And Christians are affected just as non-Christians. It's just, how are we going to understand it? How are we going to manage it? I mean, when we just think of all of the illnesses or even destruction from war and all those sorts of things, how sad and unfortunate it is. And then Jesus says, I am the light of the world. And that's the message for today. And he used in his timing, God's timing, about the light is a man blind from birth. And he says, he's blind because God's going to show his work right now. What's so remarkable about this miracle is even to this day, with all of our medical technology and knowledge, we cannot give sight to someone born blind. There is not an eye transplant, and I'll even say yet. And it has to do with the optic nerve. That's what keeps the eye transplant from working. Now, second to Jesus raising Lazarus, Jairus' daughter, from the dead, okay, bringing sight to the blind is an incredibly powerful sign pointing to who Jesus is, pointing to the Father. It cannot be replicated any other way. And a man born blind, who everyone knows is blind, says that it was a true miracle. And then we find, and this is, there's really an unfolding of the story here, and it also serves God's purpose in we moving towards the cross and this conflict, is that we have a progression of the blind man to understand who Jesus is. And I know Jesus laid it out this way, but we also see a digression of the Pharisees. And these become kind of an important way to understand that. So the first thing that it says about the man, so he goes and he washes in the pool of Siloam. Then he can see, right? So he hasn't actually seen Jesus yet. He's heard his voice. He heard something of Jesus. And here it's even Jesus initiating. The blind Bartimaeus in Jericho, right before Holy Week, calls out to Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus finds this man. And, isn't that great? He finds the man. He finds us. And it says, so he went and washed and came back seeing. The neighbors and those who had seen him before as a beggar were saying, is this not the man who used to sit and beg? Some says it is he. Others said, no, but he is like him. He kept saying, I am the man. Sort of like, okay, and finally I had to say, okay, this is the guy. So then they said to him, then how were your eyes opened? And he answered this, the man called Jesus made mud, anointed my eyes, said to me, go to Siloam and wash. So when I washed and received my sight, they said to him, where is he? He said, I do not know.